Welcome, folks, to Grounds for Discussion. I'm your host, Patty. This week, we're rolling into episode 17. Hope I got that right. I can never keep these straight. I have Kay Rooney with me today, and she is a wedding officiant and also has a antique shop. So we're going to get to know Kay. I'm very curious as to why, Kay, and how you got into wedding officiating. Is that a thing? So welcome, Kay, to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. So tell me a little bit about your background and how this is all. I find it fascinating. We were talking a little bit yesterday that you have a background in retail.
Yes.
You managed several retail stores, and now
I know
you're officiating weddings.
Well, I officiated a few, not a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I belong to this officiant group online, and I see these messages all the time that they say, I'm in my second month and I'm on number 17 officiating weddings, and I can't even imagine how this happens. I'm excited if I have one a month.
Sure.
But it's kind of a crazy story. We went to a wedding a couple summers ago, and there was an officiant there, and he was just, a nice guy, just a regular guy, and did a nice job with the ceremony. And afterwards, we walk over to the little area where there was a reception, and I see him driving up to the little screened-in porch that we were in. And he gets out, and he had a camera, and he had a couple things, and he must be the DJ too.
Oh.
And so he came in, he kind of set up, and he was setting up kind of where we were sitting, so we talked a little bit. And he went out, again, didn't pay any attention. A little bit later, he comes back in, and I just looked across the room and started to scream like a crazy person because he was Elvis. Oh. He turned into Elvis.
Oh my gosh.
He had the black wig, he had the white jumpsuit, the jewels, and he was good. He was a good singer.
So your wedding officiant comes back.
Gesundheit.
Oh my gosh, I so didn't expect that, but I could kind of feel it coming. Woo, excuse me. So, back on track real quick here. He turns into Elvis. Mm-hmm. Are you an Elvis fan?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, my gosh. I lost my mind.
Oh, cute.
And I think my husband wanted to just leave me there.
Ed.
But
so
anyway,
sweet.
He was such a nice guy, and he was so talented. It was just crazy. He sang while people were going through the buffet line. He sang when the bride and groom came in. And then he asked, do you have anything you want me to sing? And he did, and he was awesome. So we go home, and a few months later, I'm thinking, I want to start doing something that's not, that doesn't want all my time and attention. And what would it be? And all of a sudden I thought, why couldn't I do that? I can't sing, I can't be Elvis, but I can still be an officiant. Mm-hmm. And that's why in my brochure I went with like a theme. If you have a theme wedding, I will dress.
Oh, sure.
For the wedding.
Oh, I love that.
Yes, like a cowgirl or 1920s flapper.
Sure.
Or whatever. Whatever.
Little Western vibe, boho vibe going on here. So, I do have some of these flyers here at our downtown location at 612. So you call it a Rebel Heart.
Yeah, that's the name of my business, a Rebel Heart.
How come? Are you a rebel, Miss Kay?
Well, I'm working on it. And in my mind, I really want to be one.
Yes. I think I do too.
But it was just something, I thought about it, and I thought about, what does that mean? And there's a song about a rebel heart that Lauren Elena sings that I love. And it can mean lots of things.
Look her up, Lauren Elena.
Uh-huh.
Awesome.
And there's a lot of things that would fit that because, you can still, be a wife, a mother, a homemaker, a businesswoman, all the things, but you can still have that little bit of,
Mm-hmm.
Something there that you're always looking for, a little something different.
Sure.
And so I thought that works.
It
works
fits
for me.
It fits.
Yes.
I like that. So have you enjoyed the weddings that you've done? Like, what's that experience like?
I love
can't
it
imagine.
so much.
Yeah.
I love it. I didn't know. I wasn't nervous.
Mm-hmm.
I have never been nervous. The very first wedding was kind of interesting. I went up, met with this couple for the rehearsal. I'd met with them, of course, previously to write their ceremony for them. Because that's kind of the whole thing, too, is that I want to personalize your wedding ceremony. It's not going to be just out of a book someplace. Sure. It might be out of a book, but it might be 5 different books or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did that with them. And then the night before the wedding, we did the rehearsal.
Oh, my gosh. I thought you were going to say the night before the wedding, they called the wedding off.
Oh, no.
Oh, thank goodness.
So I went up for they'd rented an Airbnb up on Battle Lake.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Battle Lake, that neck of the woods anyway. And so I went up for the rehearsal, came home, went up the next day for the wedding. And it was, chaos. But I thought that's not my problem.
Mm-hmm.
I just observe. And if somebody needs some help with something, I'm more than happy to help. And so it was time for the wedding, and bride and groom come down, and I'm looking at them, and I'm going to start to talk, and I get all choked up.
Oh.
Choked up.
Oh, my
like
gosh.
I was going to cry.
Yes, I can see the emotion on your face right
gosh.
now.
And because I didn't even know them that well, but they were so sweet, and they were just so beautiful, all dressed up. And the groom reminded me so much of my grandson. Just this sweet face and, the whole thing. And so I'm choking away and trying to talk. And the sweet little bride said, "It's okay. Oh, it's okay." And so I got it together, and we did the wedding. And it was so much fun. And afterwards I said, "I'm sorry I got choked up, but you two just did it for me. I never expected that to be an emotion."
Mm-hmm.
And because I said to my husband, I think about things that could possibly happen and how I will deal with it. And, but I don't talk about them because I don't want somebody making a joke about it. And then I get to the wedding and it happens. And then all I can think about is the joke.
Sure.
And so I start laughing hysterically.
No.
So I don't think about it. I don't read my ceremony script out loud to anybody before the wedding. Nope.
You are locked in and in the zone.
I am.
Yeah.
I am. But I absolutely love it. I mean, there's so much excitement going around, and everybody pretty much is happy. And it's just, I only had one wedding where I was offered money if I made sure that they didn't get married.
Stop. Are you serious?
Yeah.
I was going to ask, in the weddings that you've done, have you had an interesting experience?
That would probably be it.
They offered you money.
Yeah, because they didn't want these two to get married.
What was your response?
I said, they have to do what they have to do. If they don't want to get married, they won't get married. If they want to get married, that's my job. That's what I do.
Hey. Wow.
So that was interesting.
Yeah. So I'm thinking about these little, they're not little. At some point, all the kids, there's a young couple.
Yes.
And they are 26-ish. And they look so young to me. They look like little kids. But they got married today.
Oh, really?
They did. And when they shared that with me it was either Monday or Tuesday, that May 1st is their wedding day. That's kind of their day. They met on May 1st.
Okay.
May 1st they got engaged, and now May 1st
They got married. Oh.
So I can only imagine the emotions that you feel, because I'm looking at these two little young kids.
Uh-huh.
They're so young, fresh-faced.
Yes.
They have their whole lives ahead of them, and they're so excited.
Yes.
You can't help but get emotional. I couldn't
know.
imagine being right there up front and close and personal.
Yeah. But I just love it. There's not one thing about it that I don't like. And, you know, some of them, there hasn't been a wedding planner, so they kind of need a little assistance with how people should walk in and where people should sit. And so I help a little bit with that. But that was the best part about doing the first 2 weddings I did, because they were small weddings. They didn't have extra helpers. And I thought, well, they don't know any more than I do, so nobody's going to know.
Right. None the wiser.
Nobody's going to know that I don't know either.
Oh, I love that. No one's going to know.
No, nobody's going to know.
Oh, I love that. Good.
Yeah. So I hope to book a few more over the summer now and into fall. And
do you stay local to Alexandria, or
not
what's your
necessarily.
radius?
I have one booked late summer in Fargo.
Okay.
And it kind of depends on how far we're talking, and time of year to think about weather. Sure. But yeah, drive a couple hours, that doesn't bother me. And usually they're very gracious. They offer, and it's in my contract that it's kind of required, but I have never had to ask. They offer, now, do you need extra money for mileage, for hotel, for so it's all been very just lovely.
Good.
Yeah.
It's all unfolded.
Yeah. Just kind of the way it's supposed to be.
Sure. Good.
Yes.
So where can people find you with?
Well, I'm going to leave. I am on Facebook.
Okay.
A Rebel Heart.
Okay.
Wedding Officiant. Instagram.
Oh, yes.
And I leave some brochures here and there and some cards. Jackie J's Bridal has my information down there. Yep. And or they can call you and say, what's her phone number?
They can call me and I will tell you what her phone number is. So here it is, guys. This aspect of Kay, right there, a Rebel Heart wedding officiant. We'll have some of these brochures here at the shop. So let's move into, I'll just lean over a little bit like this and look at Now and Then Antiques and Collectibles.
Yes.
I love that shop. I'm actually going there tomorrow. I'm going to let the cat out of the bag to let my husband know. Yeah. I'm going to sneak over there for
I better get some new things in there.
Oh, it's just fun. It's just fun. You find really unique things. And when I was a little girl, I don't know if you remember these. I think you might. The Avon pins. Oh. I mean, I still have them. They were huge, kind of gaudy, but and you could flip open the little face. Yes. And there was little perfume in there.
A little sachet or like a glossy, glazy thing.
And you could put it on your wrist.
Oh, of course.
So when I was a kid, I'd wear these little brooches, if you will. Yes. And recently, I've gotten back into wearing brooches. Yeah. And I went over there a couple weeks ago with Angelica and found this darling little, it's like a little bumblebee brooch. Oh. Just the cutest thing. Oh, cute. And I haven't been able to stop thinking about all the other brooches that may be sitting over there that I haven't found yet.
Yeah, so I put a few new ones in.
Yeah, good. So yeah, that's my plan is I have a small window during the season, throughout the whole year. Yes. Where I can bring my kids in to fill in for me. Yep. And that's my intention is to sneak out over to Now and Then. Yeah. So tell me about that awesome building, the location, and what your role is there.
I'll do the best I can with that because it's been there. Well, obviously the building has been there. I want to say, I might be wrong about this, but the late 80s, 1880. Sure, right. It was probably built in that time frame somewhere. And it was the Farmers National Bank. And it was, if you ever come across like the Alec Historical Society or anything, the pictures of the original bank are amazing because it was open from that first floor all the way up. It didn't have the 3 floors like it does now. And it was marble.
Wow.
It was all marble. And it was, then they had, just little offices along the side. And yeah, it was quite the bank for those years.
Mm-hmm.
And then, boy, I think it was probably in the 80s, Ed Rooney bought that building. And he had some little stores in there. There was a shoe store in there. There was a boutique in there. There were all kinds of things. And they kept adding levels and compartments and things. And little by little, those businesses went out and the antique people came in with all their wares. And so that was in, let me think, about 2000 when I came to work there. And Ed had asked me if I would be interested in helping him open an art gallery there. And I said, yeah. And so we went up on the 3rd floor and opened an art gallery. And it was a lot of fun to do that and buy all the prints and
Oh my gosh.
and hang them all. And,
Sure.
And then at that same time, then I kind of managed the building. Took care of the antiquers, paid their checks, helped at the counter if we didn't have anybody to work. And so that's just how it kind of all came about. And then I decided, well, we had an empty booth. Somebody had moved out and usually we have a list of people that want space there. And at that time, there wasn't anybody, which was odd. And so I said, well, I'm just going to take over and put some things in there. So I've had this space up there almost 2 years now. And I don't really have antiques. I do more the canvas prints, mostly unframed.
Mm-hmm.
But I found a source that I have a really good value.
Yeah.
And then some new and gently used clothing, some jewelry, some tiaras.
Yes, my gosh. Little Angelica found your tiaras.
That was kind of a hit, wasn't it? Why didn't I bring some
gosh,
tiaras?
Right? Yeah, she loves them. And we actually have one so be looking for this, you guys, that we're doing a giveaway with.
Oh, yes. I was going to ask you if you'd had a chance to do that yet.
We've been waiting for the right moment, and I think May, with weddings starting.
Yeah, Mother's Day.
And Mother's Day, maybe it would be... I think it would be a hit.
Yeah.
I would love it. I have a tiara in the glass case.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, you do.
Yeah, I had to have it. It's so pretty. So yeah, your space has, I think, really fun, unique things, which is why I love antiquing and checking, because you're going to find, I think, things that are unique. Mm-hmm. Not everybody's wearing, and I love that you're doing the clothing piece of it. And the prices are very reasonable.
I think they are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know I've picked up a few things over there. I have a canvas print. I saw Sean out of the corner of my eye look up to the canvas print that we picked up over there. She's
I love
so
that.
darling.
And I'm getting a few more of the little girls like that with birds
it's so
and
cute.
different things.
Yeah.
They're pretty cute.
As soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, Angelica was with me. Look at this little princess.
Yeah,
She's
she
so
is. She's a forest
cute.
princess.
Yes.
Yes.
So we had to have it for the shop. I think she fits right in.
Yeah, it does. It does. But I just, I thought not everybody that comes in the antique mall, groups come in or people have company over the weekends and they come downtown to walk around, and you can always tell when there's one person in the group that is not into antiques because they come in and
Yes, right?
and they're like, and so I thought, well, maybe they'd be interested in non-antique type things.
Right.
And because there is a really nice selection. We don't have a lot of repeat dealers over there. We've got a lot of different things. and they just enjoy what they do, and they work hard to source their things and get them ready to put on a shelf. And
so,
yes,
can you tell me a little bit about the sourcing process for antiques?
Sure.
Maybe even if you're willing to share specifically on your booth, how do you find your items? Because I have to tell you, they're awesome. They're adorable.
Well, I just kind of, I don't even hardly look. They just kind of find me.
Sure.
And I find most things online. If I'm driving around town and I see a garage sale that looks interesting, I'll stop and check it out. And so I don't work hard at shopping.
Sure.
I just think, okay, this is going to work. This would go with what's already there. And I'll do that. But I have to say that the majority of the other dealers, they really work at it. They're at all the garage sales. They're at all the estate sales. They stop at a big pile of junk that's at the end of somebody's driveway.
Sure. They're going to check it, right?
Yeah. And we do have people come in and say, oh, we have a house full of things we need to sell.
Oh, nice.
And they'll leave their phone number.
Come to you.
Yeah. And they'll leave their phone number, and, then we'll make that available for our dealers. And if they're interested and want to go check it out, we have a phone number for them to call. And so, yeah, they come sometimes, especially Tony.
Yeah.
That wild and crazy Tony.
I know it.
He is a workaholic with his wares. And he cleans things, and he fixes things, and he arranges things, and he works really, really hard.
He is such a sweet guy. So we've gotten to know Tony. He'll come over and grab his hazelnut cappuccino.
Yes.
And he shared that he went to Florida for a couple of weeks this winter.
Yes.
And he drove home to Minnesota. And he said, by the time I got back to Alexandria, I had a carload of stuff. Yeah. I said, Tony, I'm so jealous. You're living my dream. You're shopping across country.
Yeah.
And he said, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, he has this vehicle. I'm not sure what he drove down there and back, but he always has it packed to the ceiling.
Good for him.
Yeah.
So do you go to other antique shops when you're out of town? So I make a point of doing that when I'm out of town, which is not very often anymore.
You're too busy.
Do you find antiques in downtowns as well, or?
Sometimes, depending on where you go. Sometimes they will have maybe a sale, or an antique store that's going out of business, or you just see something that people have talked about, asked about, and somebody has it for an amazingly low price.
Sure. And
you say, oh, I know I can get $5 more than that.
Sure.
So then, of course, you buy it.
Yeah.
But we check them out a lot of times just to check how they're pricing.
Sure.
We go with the size of the town, population, what their draw is from out of town, and then what their prices are. Because you get into a town like Duluth, there's a really great antique store up there, and I'm guessing they do a really good business. They've been there for a long time, but their prices are a lot higher than ours.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, but yeah, to answer your question, I sure do.
Have you been to Detroit Lakes?
I have not been to Detroit Lakes.
I have not either. My friend Tracy, I know.
Road trip.
She could be our tour guide.
Okay. Does she live there?
No, she lives in Alexandria.
Oh, okay.
And she's been trying to get me to go. There's a market in the cities that she's been trying to get me to go with her.
Okay.
And she'll say, like, I don't want to buy anything. I just want to look. I want to look. And it makes sense.
Yeah.
She wants to look at what trends are in and what's happening. And
absolutely.
That's
the best. Right? Where does she go? Does she go to the merchandise, the gift mart?
Yes. I believe that's where she goes. She's been trying to get me to go
you should go. It's just amazing.
And then she's been wanting to go to Detroit Lakes to the I think it's an outdoor and indoor. They have outbuildings, a vendor market along Lake Melissa. Do you know what I'm talking about? There's a name to this market in Detroit Lakes, and apparently it's massive, and apparently it does really well.
I need to check on that.
I know. So
I can't believe that close, and I don't know about that.
Right. I should plan a road trip with me, you, and Tracy on a Friday
Oh,
afternoon.
yes.
Right?
Yes.
When I have coverage.
Yes.
So yeah, because I've been wanting to check that out, and I actually have been wanting to start something here, but
Well,
you know, you're juggling so many balls in the air.
I know, I've been thinking about that too ever since we talked about
right.
doing something downtown that would be more markety like.
I think it'd be a lot of fun. So you've been in the downtown community for a while.
Oh, forever.
Yeah.
I moved here in 1975.
Where from?
From down near Minneapolis.
Okay.
And my parents lived down there, and I had a lot of relatives up here, and I didn't know what I wanted to do after I graduated from high school. So I said, well, I'll go up there. I can live with Grandma for a while.
Yeah.
And I worked at Arrowwood, and then I worked at...
My gosh, has Arrowwood been there that long?
Oh, yeah.
You're kidding.
Yeah. Then I worked at a drugstore downtown here that is no longer here. And then I worked at Washington School. And then I had 2 babies. So then I stayed home.
Of which I've met your daughter.
Yes.
Very nice and so beautiful.
That's my oldest.
Okay, and then your other one?
Yep, Sarah, she's the baby, and she lives in California.
Okay, so you had 2 girls.
Yes.
Okay.
And then I ended up out at the mall for at B. Dalton, 10 years out there. And then downtown at From the Heart for 10 years. And then I kind of floated after that. It was never hard to find a job.
Yeah, good. So what's your thought
Do you have
on...
any openings?
Right? Oh gosh, okay. The trouble my husband's over there like,
Is he grimacing?
Right.
Ugh.
The trouble we could get into. What is your thought on the downtown community in Alexandria?
I love our downtown. It has changed so much in the last just 3-4 years probably. And I think we have a really nice selection, whether it's coffee, gifts, clothing, eating, antiquing, I mean, you name it. And people come here now that haven't been in Alexandria for a while, come from out of town. And, we've gotten so that we know a few of the people in the summertime that come from Iowa or, a lot of North Dakota people have summer homes over here. And they'll come in, I think it was 2 years ago, they started coming in the store saying, what happened to downtown? It's amazing.
Oh.
It's amazing. We love it. We thought we'd just make a quick stop downtown and then we'd go out to the winery or we'd go back to the hotel and we've been down here all day.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah, and we have heard that over and over and over. So I hope that continues. And I think, people pay attention to the business people, pay attention. And I think they do a really good job of rotating their inventory and changing things up a little bit. And it's real hard to sell through your inventory. I don't know anybody that really sells through, but that's okay because you do pay attention and you do rotate and makes it work. They make it work. So I'm happy about downtown.
I am too.
And I'm really happy about these tables and chairs.
I know. So the city will bring out little bistro tables, and I swear they have more this year. And they set them out in front of, strategically space them out along both sides of the block.
Yes.
And they're just great. I think they're so inviting.
They are.
The only thing, though, Kay, is right outside our storefront.
Yes.
That tree is missing.
Oh, that's
Yes.
right.
Do you remember? Where were you when that happened?
I wasn't even in town. I think I was in Minneapolis.
So,
And-
folks, a few weeks back,
Oh.
we had, I think it was early March. I can't quite, there's a lot of snow on the ground. A semi driver lost control, and thankfully no one was hurt, but she ended up taking out like 4 or 5 cars, the trees, the lampposts on Broadway. So I'm looking directly out our storefront, and there was a beautiful tree that this table that's now back out front would sit under and shade so nicely. So
Oh,
that ended up on Chit Chat real quick.
oh, I suppose.
Yeah. And you were where then when that happened?
Yeah, I think I was in Minneapolis. And I don't remember if I called Ed or he called me, and he said, in fact, I think he was working and saw
Oh, sure.
it all happen
Yeah.
over here.
Yeah.
And he goes, I don't know what's going on, but there's a semi up on the sidewalk.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was it's a good thing he didn't come in your front window.
I know it. So as soon as that happened, my little Miles comes back to the kitchen and he says, I think you better get outside. There's been a really bad accident. I'm like, oh, God, Miles. So we bolt it for the door.
Yeah.
And
Did you have your little first aid kit?
no,
Oh.
I know, right? So Matthias is out here from Computer Specialist.
Yeah.
He's out on the sidewalk. Ellie from Art and Soul is on the sidewalk. And that's what you could hear. They were saying, Matthias was like, thank God they didn't come through the...
Yes.
That's a big semi.
Yes.
Like it was a full-size big semi
Yes.
that came and took out.
Yeah, and they found out later, I think, that something happened with the brakes or with do you remember hearing?
I never heard.
Yeah, and it was definitely not operator error necessarily.
Good.
And but I can't remember. There was something that malfunctioned.
Oh, interesting.
And yeah.
I'll ask. So I have a group of ladies that play cards upstairs.
Oh, yes.
And they park out front. And every single one of the vehicles that were hit that day
Yes.
were from the group.
No.
Yes, yes. I felt so bad. And I was like, well,
You weren't in charge of that.
they might not come back. And they're like, well, that's part of it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
parking on
You
Broadway.
never
Yeah,
know.
you never, anywher, really.
Mhm.
And they were really good sports about it. And
Yeah.
they've been back. And
Oh, good.
immediately they got, their insurances involved and got new vehicles
Yeah.
right away. But I never did ask if they heard anymore. I'm going to have
Yeah.
to ask them. Like, what was...
Yeah, because they would definitely know since their insurance had to get involved and everything. I would think they would know, but
Right?
yeah, that was kind of exciting.
It
And
was.
I missed it.
It was.
Darn it.
Way more fun than I was hoping for. That had to have been a Monday when I'm thinking about who all was upstairs.
Oh, okay.
I bet you that was a Monday afternoon. So, yeah, the crazy things that happen downtown.
You never know.
No.
And that's why you should come downtown, not to get your car smashed,
Right.
but just to see the excitement.
Right.
You never know.
True.
Elvis could be here.
You know what? That's a great idea.
He's awesome.
Do you have his contact info?
I do.
We should get Elvis to come downtown.
Because he actually does concerts too. And so I got all his info. I got some info about officiating, and I got info about his concerts, and I can get that to you.
So this is a wild question.
Yeah.
Only because you like Elvis so much, I have to ask it. Do you have Netflix?
Yes.
Shawnee, what was that series we saw on the Elvis impersonators? Have you seen that
Oh,
on
no.
Netflix? Girl.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes. You got to watch it. It's
Oh.
kind of fascinating.
Yes.
So it's 2 brothers, right, that impersonated Elvis.
Okay.
And one brother went kind of off into conspiracy theory land. This was quite a few years ago. But it kind of focused on their impersonation of Elvis and all the gigs that they would do.
Yeah.
And that the local women would go nuts for these brothers that were impersonating Elvis. It's very interesting. I'm going to have you, I'm going to send it,
Okay.
the info to you so you can watch it.
I definitely will.
I think you would very much
Anything
enjoy that.
Elvis, Priscilla, I watch everything and I read everything.
Priscilla Presley, right? So I have to tell you, oh my gosh. So when I was 20-ish,
Okay.
I moved to Alabama.
Okay.
I lived in Alabama for 7 years. And so being from Grand Forks, the Air Force Base is, the Grand Forks Air Force. And there's kids, men and women from all over the country. I met a boy from Mississippi, actually.
Okay.
And I ended up following him to Alabama. But I was able to go see
Graceland.
Yes, and Tupelo, Mississippi. His grandmother took me to Tupelo, Mississippi. I saw Elvis's birthplace, the big billboard. And
the little tiny house.
Yes. That was actually pretty small. And then I also saw Graceland.
Yeah.
It was such a far off memory. It didn't occur to me until towards the end of our conversation. My gosh, that was such a long time ago.
Been there.
Have you?
No.
Girl, another road trip.
I know, another road trip. A friend of mine just a year ago built a home in Gulf Shores, Alabama. And she's been wanting me to come down there, and it just hasn't worked. And she said, you come down here, and we're going to drive up to Graceland. So I have to do it.
You should. So the one thing that surprised me is that the home was not as big as I was expecting.
That's anybody that's gone to it has said the exact same thing.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yep. And I was just a kid. That was, gosh, over 30 years ago. But that's the one thing that struck me. And there was a lot of like velour. The couches were big and gaudy and velour. I mean, it was fabulous.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. I remember like gold was a big color theme throughout.
I have heard that, and I've heard like big heavy velvet drapes and that kind of thing, especially in the master bedroom because he slept all day and was up all night.
Yep.
And so he would wake up, and after he married Priscilla, allegedly, she said she would wake up and she wouldn't know if it was day or night.
Oh.
Because it was really odd.
Right. What a lifestyle.
I know.
Boy, we could go down that rabbit hole too. So do you have any Elvis memorabilia personally?
I have some records.
Oh, fun.
I just have some records that I've had for a long time. And this friend that is in Alabama, she has always loved Elvis too. And we kind of, became friends over that interest. And so my girls and we always said, we need to find an Elvis on velvet for her. She needs an Elvis on velvet to put on the mantle at her on her fireplace. And so we did find one. And it was, I think we were down in like southern Arizona. We were probably on the border back in the day.
Sure.
And we found her a
fun
Elvis on velvet.
Oh,
pretty big, you know. And she still has it. She still displays it.
That's fantastic. That's so fun.
Yeah.
What a fun story.
Really
I do
was.
love that about like Tony. He knows Angelica's thing is butterflies. And he'll find little butterflies, little butterfly brooches, and he'll bring them over to her. He'll bring over coffee. Like old-fashioned grinder we have that he found for us. It's just fun to see what you never know what he's going to walk through the door with.
Know. It could be something that you kind of go, oh, where am I going to put that?
Oh.
Or, oh, where am I going to put that?
I can't wait. Yeah.
Because it's got to be on display.
Yeah, so Kay, it has been a pleasure talking to you.
Oh, my pleasure. Absolutely.
You are such a sweet lady. Well, I'm glad I've connected with you recently.
I am also. Yeah.
And I look forward to...
Thank my brother-in-law for that.
Yeah, right. Rich, yes, Rich, your brother-in-law. So maybe you're putting the pieces of the puzzle together here, folks, but Kay is married to Ed Rooney. Mm-hmm. And Rich is his brother.
Yes.
And we've gotten to know Rich over the last, 2 years maybe?
Yeah, he moved here, I think this summer will be 3 years ago that he moved from Colorado.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, he's a gem.
Yeah.
He's a really nice...
Yeah. He is a nice guy.
Yeah.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. And I recently met your husband over at
yes.
the...
You especially liked him because he thought you were 35.
Yes, I thought that was fantastic. Okay, seriously, folks, what girl at the age of 55 wouldn't like to be mistaken for 35? Never mind that Ed probably didn't have his glasses on.
And then he said, when I told him about doing this podcast, and he said, that's with the Patty at the coffee shop, right? And I said, yeah, the one that you thought was 35. Oh, yeah. Then he remembered.
Cute. That's so sweet. He's very, very sweet. So
and he'll be there tomorrow afternoon.
Good. I was just going to say, hopefully he'll be
Friday
there.
Afternoon. Yeah. His afternoon.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, so that'll be fun. So thank you for coming on to the show.
Thank you for asking.
It has been
I appreciate it.
So much fun talking to you. And I think we should do, honestly, a road trip to Detroit Lakes.
Oh, yes.
And then you, Tracy, and I can sit down and talk about
stuff.
That
all
road
the things.
Trip. Yeah.
All the things.
On a future podcast episode.
Yeah.
How fun would that be?
That'd be really fun.
Yeah, let's do it. So thank you, folks, again for tuning in to Grounds for Discussion. We are located inside Deja Blue. Our little studio is called Streetside Studio 7 in the heart of downtown Alexandria, Minnesota, 612 Broadway. Thank you, as always, for tuning in.